I'm going to throw this one at Mike first, and then Matt, and then Cormier last, please. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So first impressions, clothing, right? And quite good actually. I read the portfolio. I know that he's using a CLO, which is kind of a variant of a Marvelous Designer, which is specifically for clothing design. The only thing I didn't understand was the Baby Yoda, although it was pretty cool. It's not so much in line with the rest of the stuff. So really solid work here. I didn't necessarily see anything in the portfolio that he's specifically looking for work related to this type of modeling. Maybe I missed it. I don't know, but that's what I've seen. I work in Marvelous Designer as well, so I can tell that he really knows what he's doing, which is kind of cool. And yeah, other than that, these are my first impressions. I did see a little, well, maybe not issue, but as far as the descriptions of the work by itself, I kind of get the impression that this is AI generated. Now, that is not necessarily a problem, but if you want your portfolio to be personal, if you want it to be an invitation for a conversation, then I would avoid that kind of thing. And the text contains a lot of adjectives, right? It's very fluffy language, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, how many ways can you describe a jumpsuit? Very long text, very, I would say complex wording, but very over the top wording. And that might be a situation because it's not his native language, which is fine. But if that is the case, then I would definitely ask somebody to help, right? Keep it personal, keep it simple and to the point. That would be my tip. But the work by itself is very, very solid.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mike. Cormier? Oh, sorry, Matt first. Sorry. We're shuffling. I'm shuffling you all.
Yeah, not much to add. In general, I think so. Let me quickly read this one. I'm also working on Marvelous Designer with Chloe as fashion designer. So here, let me actually check my document again with what the specific intent was, because this may give me another clue here.
But even to a lay person like me, eight pieces doesn't feel like that much, does it? Or am I being harsh?
It's more than most portfolios we've seen so far.
Okay.
What I like about it is when somebody is specifically into clothing creation in something like Marvelous Designer, that is quite technical because the software is originally designed for people that are into making clothing for real. So it wasn't even intended originally as a software for 3D artists. And that's what it turned into at some point. And you can see here in this example that you literally have to make patterns like you would in real life to put a piece of clothing together. So there's a lot of technical aspects that come into play with this. And I think if you have 7 or 8 garments that have different styles, like men's clothing, trousers, jackets, that kind of thing, you clearly demonstrate that you are skilled in working with CLO and Marvelous Designer. And if that's the intention, then I would say it's successful.
Great.
Yeah,
Matt?
also in my experience, but a year ago, I also played a bit with Yoda. It's a little bit out of place here.
Would you advise him to remove Yoda? seeing as you've all commented on it?
Yes, I would. And but again, the intent here, right? So I mean, it says here that I am a Maya-based 3D artist, and I'm also working on fashion designer with CLOS. Marvelous, reading, right? So the thing is, it seems he is working. He has a job. So there's no text that kind of implies that I'm searching for something. Right. So what is the intent? At the moment, what I see is a gallery that is with meticulously crafted 3D fashion. Doing this stuff needs a ton of experience using the tool, and this is the work of an absolute professional. I've seen Claude tutorials of people. There are very few really good YouTube channels that are able to produce something like this. So this is world-class work, and this expertise these people are usually working on Disney movies, for example, like the princess clothing and so on. So this is absolutely world-class, really. Just to see the sewing and so on, and the physics simulation. This is right. So it's very, let's say, it's an extremely humble kind of portfolio, except for maybe the icon here. It's a little bit slightly different, but in general, the work that is shown is absolutely solid. Really, like, kudos. The question is then really, what is the intent? Because I don't get any implication. Also, obviously, in seeing that this is absolutely solid work, there's most probably not a need to even try to find a job, because if you can, with a portfolio like this, you will get job offers. Just people, or you should get job offers, right? Now, again, I mean, it says contact email address here, contract, freelance. It's kind of, interested in, but it's not necessary. There's a little bit of not too much I need work, right? Which is perfectly fine. Nevertheless, the only thing that I would actually change is, because again, maybe it's a little bit of OCD, I would fix the typos, unless this has to be lowercase, or Dawa, that's a city in Qatar. So uppercase, lowercase, but then again, it's the devil's in the detail.
No, the Matthias is in the detail. Kwame, lose Baby Yoda or keep?
Yeah. So again, I think the Yoda is pretty cool. From a standpoint of visual effects, I think there's some missing elements and there are a few mistakes there. I think you can see a huge blip at some point where it's just a huge flare crossing the screen. But I guess, that's the one. Other than that, I think the model looks great. It would be great to see it. How I look at it, about, like, first of all, it's great work. How I look at it is, how do you further show a breakdown of the entire process? That would be cool to see from all the various models he's created. Just
Right.
talk about what inspired the designs and what was the challenge within the project. Because at this level, it's no longer about the technique. It's more about what the thinking behind what he was doing and the concepts behind it. I think from this level, outside being an artist, it's more of now creative direction. And that's a conversation that someone at this level, I think, would want to have stand out in their portfolio. Other than that, I think Lucido has great work, and just add more context to your work, and I think it's good.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And
I would really be interested to see. I mean, it's pretty clear, but I would really love to know what the education is that that he has, because it's the eye for the details, like even the gestures and the poses. It kind of it's absolutely solid that it shows that he does have the experience also kind of in the physical world to be able to understand the sewing patterns, to be able to produce something like this. The only thing that I would absolutely lose are the you could say a little bit the bloated formulations that are almost oozing of I'm not sure. Yeah, it's over the top. I would just be more kind of addressing it a little bit more subtle.
Luther, are you here, Luther? I wish. Okay, so maybe Luther isn't here, but he will check this out on YouTube. I think if we're good to move on without a break, I think we should just push on. Is that okay?
Sure. Can I add one more comment, Divina?
Please.
I know you want to move forward, but
please.
I want to kind of add on to what Komi just mentioned, because that's something that wasn't addressed until now. You will encounter portfolios that are such a level that you don't even have to talk about the art, right? I mean, they're obviously at the top of their game, and then the whole discussion changes. And then it's purely about, what are your motives? Why are you into this? Where's that coming from? What are your wishes for the future? Maybe you were inspired by clothing that you saw in a fashion show in Paris. I don't know, whatever, right? It no longer is a discussion about, do you know how to use the software? And that's what you get with, for example, animators as well. When people are interviewed for animator positions, it's almost exclusively talking about the person and not about the work, because it's a given that you understand your craft, otherwise you wouldn't even be considered, right? It's like you don't ask a Formula One driver, can you drive a car? It's different.
You know what I wish? I wish our esteemed AI panel was here to hear this, because what I keep hearing from you guys with every portfolio is, we want to know about the person. We want to know about you.
Yes.
We want to know what makes you tick. And that's what you don't get with AI, right?
That's the thing. AI feeds on originality and creativity, but that comes from people.
Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you, Luther. And when you have jobs for us, contact us. All right. It's,
just a very tiny little detail, right? So yes. Another thing which I would adapt is, if you have something like this, like a work experience, this was 2021 to 2022. Now it's 2024. If you're kind of serious about these things, so just fill them up, make them fill them up so that they're complete, or don't put anything and point to LinkedIn or whatever, right?
Brilliant.
Just the consistency.
Yeah, the detail for Matthias. All right, perfect.